Hey folks, welcome to episode 4, and this is going to be our final episode on this series. And this is the completion of the Philco Fender Champ 5F1 old radio amplifier. So you'll see a few things here on the front, and then we'll flip it around the back, and I'll just kind of walk through that and show you. So you'll see that I've cut the volume pot, and I've got a knob there. I've got the indicator light, which I've shown you, and you'll notice I have some screws in here for the speaker. I'll turn it on at the end, but let me flip it around and I'll show you what's in the back. So what we've done here is I've made the speaker removable purposely. And you'll notice that I have everything marked here clearly. So 2 amps, fuse obviously, a 4 ohm speaker, and then I've got 2 inputs. I've got an input 1 which is bright, and then an input 2 which is standard. You'll see I've got all the tubes marked, and on the side here I've got a little bit of information about what the amp is, the Fender Champ. So the reason why I made this removable is if you for some reason wanted to play this through a cabinet, you could. You could remove this, plug in a 4 ohm cabinet, and you're good to go. The main thing to remember with these amps though is you have to have a speaker plugged in. It's very important. You'll see here that I've got the 6.3 volt pilot light connected, no problems, and everything generally works well. I had to use a tap and die set to mount this to the chassis because the threads in there were shot. I did that, and I also made the correction that JP pointed out in yesterday's video about how I connected the power cord. Basically I had the neutral going to ground and I had the hot side going to the power switch, and JP was very correct to point out that the hot side should be as close to the fuse as possible. So I did make that change last night, and all in all, very happy with the outcome of this amp. One thing I have to confess is when I first did the filaments, on the old drawing they used the ground, the chassis, as the ground for that, and you just can't do that anymore. That would make a hot chassis, so I did redo the filament wiring. That wasn't a big deal, it was just moving a few wires around. But we've got this thing in good shape. I do have one small problem that I haven't sorted out yet, and I'm going to take a look at the schematic and see if I can figure out why. So let's power this thing up. We'll give it a minute, and it works just fine. I've got plenty of volume. It's as I showed you on the video yesterday, my watt meter is going up to 5 watts, which is what this is rated for. And you'll notice there's a little bit of a hum there, but that's normal. Here's the problem. When I go to power it off, right before I get to the click, listen to what happens. Right there. And then off. So I turn it on. I get that hum. I move it up just a little bit, and it goes away. Interesting. I'm thinking that I may need to take the filament line and put some 100 ohm resistors to ground. That's very common on these amps. That's probably would help to get rid of the hum here. I think it's a 60 cycle hum that I'm hearing. Want to listen to it again? Right there. Sounds like a 60 cycle hum to me, but maybe it's not. So, but the amp plays fine otherwise. I mean, that's all the way up to 10, and it's fine. It's just when you go in to turn it off or turn it on, you get that little spot right there, right before it clicks. So, so I have to think about what I'm going to do there. I want to look at the schematic again and see if I can figure that out. But aside from that, this amp is now complete. It's a nice little amp, and the person that I built it for, I think, is going to be really happy with it. So, so that's the end of the series. I appreciate all your comments, and if you have any idea what this is caused by, please let me know. But again, I think it's because I have to put the filament lines to ground with a 100 ohm resistor on both sides. That's something I've done in some of my other amps. So that's it for this. I understand that the faceplate for the Hammond is now painted and will be shipped out sometime this week, so I'm looking forward to that. And that'll be the next thing, and I'll probably have a few odds and sods videos in between then. So that's it for today. Let's turn this off. And I appreciate you all sticking with me, and hope you enjoyed the series. If you have any questions, let me know. Happy to answer them. This is Ron.